My friends, listen to me. We've been taught since childhood that kindness is everything. That being a good person means always saying yes, always being available, always giving, even when it hurts. Not to everyone, not to the good people in your life, but to the ones who take advantage of you, the ones who drain you, disrespect you, and make you feel like you're not enough. Because your energy is sacred. Your time is priceless. Your heart is not something for others to step on. How many times have you overextended yourself for someone who wouldn't do the same for you? How many times have you excused bad behavior thinking maybe they didn't mean it, or they'll change, but they never do. They never change. Not because they can't, because they don't have to. You've made it too easy for them. You've taught them that no matter what they do, you'll still show up, still be there, still give them the best of you while they give you the bare minimum. And I get it. You're kind because you have a big heart. You want to believe the best in people. You want to help, to support, to uplift. But listen to me. Not everyone deserves that version of you. Not everyone deserves your endless patience, your constant forgiveness, your willingness to sacrifice yourself just to keep the peace. Because here's the truth. Kindness without boundaries is self-destruction. If you keep pouring into people who never pour back into you, you will wake up one day empty, drained, and wondering where all your energy went. And worse, you'll start to resent the very people you are trying to help. This isn't about turning cold. It's not about becoming bitter or shutting yourself off from love. It's about choosing wisely. It's about recognizing that your kindness should be earned, not just given away to anyone who asks. Because when you continuously give to those who don't appreciate it, you're not being kind, you're being used. And I need you to understand something deep in your soul. You teach people how to treat you. Every time you tolerate disrespect, every time you allow someone to manipulate you, every time you say it's okay when it's not okay, you are showing them what they can get away with. And if you don't set the boundary, they never will. Some people are in your life not to love you, but to use you. Not to support you, but to drain you. Not to grow with you, but to keep you exactly where you are because it benefits them. And those people, they don't deserve your kindness. I know it's hard to let go. I know it feels wrong to walk away from people you've invested so much in. But listen, some people are meant to be in your life for a season, not a lifetime. Holding on to them only holds you back. Think about where you could be if you stopped wasting your energy on people who don't deserve it. Think about how much more you could accomplish if you weren't constantly drained by negativity, by drama, by people who only take and never give. You were meant for more than this. You were meant to grow, to thrive, to be surrounded by people who lift you up, not weigh you down. So stop being kind to them, not with hatred, not with anger, but with self-respect. Love yourself enough to walk away. Value yourself enough to say no. Protect your peace enough to stop explaining, stop justifying, stop making excuses for people who don't deserve you. Because the moment you start demanding more, your whole life will change. The right people will show up. The ones who respect you, who value you, who reciprocate the kindness you so freely give. But that only happens when you finally decide enough is enough. You are not here to be used. You are not here to be taken for granted. You are here to shine, to grow, to love, and to be loved the right way. So stop being kind to them and start being kind to yourself. Your energy is sacred. Your time is priceless. Your heart is not something for others to step on. You have spent too long giving everything to people who don't appreciate it, don't reciprocate it, and don't deserve it. And yet you keep doing it, thinking that if you just give a little more If you just try a little harder, maybe, just maybe, they will finally see your worth. But they won't. Not because you aren't worthy, but because they don't want to. They benefit from your kindness. They take, and they know you'll always be there, always willing, always available. And that has to stop. Kindness without boundaries isn't kindness at all. It's self-sacrifice. And not the noble kind. It's the kind that slowly erodes your self-respect, your confidence, your energy, and your happiness. You were not put on this earth to be drained by people who do not care about you. You were not meant to be a constant giver to people who never even think to give back. If you are always the one checking in, always the one forgiving, always the one making excuses for their behavior, that's not a relationship. It's a one-sided transaction where you are always left depleted. And let's be honest, they know exactly what they're doing. They know you'll always say yes. They know you'll always be there to clean up the mess, to fix things, to support them, even when they never support you. They've gotten comfortable with your generosity, with your loyalty, with the way you always put them first, even when they never put you first. And as long as you let it continue, it never stops. You have to wake up and realize that people treat you how you allow them to treat you. If they keep hurting you and you keep letting them back in, they don't feel the need to change. Why would they? There are no consequences, no boundaries, no expectations they have to meet. You've taught them that no matter what they do, you'll still be there, still smiling, still giving, still hoping they'll be different next time. But they won't be. They are exactly who they've always been, and the only way they'll ever change is if you decide to change. You have to stop tolerating the bare minimum. You have to stop settling for one-sided relationships. You have to stop making excuses for people who don't show up for you the way you show up for them. And I know that's hard. I know you don't want to be the bad guy. I know you don't want to feel like you're abandoning people, but hear me. Walking away from people who continuously hurt you is not cruelty, it's self-respect. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to step away. You are allowed to protect your energy, your heart, and your peace. And when you do, something incredible happens. When you stop being kind to the wrong people, you make space for the right people. You make space for people who actually appreciate you, who value you, who don't take your kindness for granted, but instead match it with their own. You make space for relationships that don't leave you feeling drained, but instead leave you feeling fulfilled, supported, and loved. But that only happens when you decide enough is enough. It happens when you finally choose yourself. When you stop handing out kindness like it's limitless, when in reality, your energy is something to be protected because you deserve more. You deserve relationships that lift you up, not weigh you down. You deserve to be surrounded by people who respect you, not people who only use you when it's convenient for them. You deserve the same love and effort that you give so freely. So stop being kind to them. Stop making space for people who only take. Stop pouring into cups that never fill yours in return. Stop expecting people to change when they have no reason to. And most importantly, stop betraying yourself just to keep others comfortable. Your kindness is a gift, and it should only go to those who truly deserve it. People often mistake kindness for weakness. They assume that because you are patient, understanding, and forgiving, they can continue to take advantage of you without consequences. And for too long, you have let them. You have let them take more than they give, drain your energy without replenishing it, and walk all over your boundaries as if they don't exist. And why? Because you believe in people. You see their potential. You hope that if you just love them enough, support them enough, and prove your loyalty enough, they will finally change, but they don't. They won't, because they don't have to. They have learned that no matter how they treat you, you will always be there. You will always pick up the phone, always forgive, always make excuses for their behavior. And as long as you keep allowing it, they will keep doing it. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of what you have tolerated. And if you don't start demanding more, nothing will ever change. You need to understand something. You are not here to be a dumping ground for other people's problems. You are not here to carry the emotional weight of relationships where you are the only one trying. Love, friendship, and loyalty should never feel like a burden that only you are holding up. You are not placed on this earth to shrink yourself so others can feel more comfortable, to give endlessly while receiving nothing in return, or to be the constant fixer in relationships that are broken because the other person refuses to do the work. It is time to stop being kind to them. Not because you are bitter, not because you are cruel, but because you respect yourself too much to keep allowing this cycle to continue. You are done pouring into people who refuse to pour into you. You are done being the only one who cares, the only one who tries, the only one who gives without limits, because the truth is, when you overextend yourself for people who don't deserve it, you are betraying yourself. You are teaching yourself that your needs don't matter, that your feelings should come second, that your worth is measured by what you can give rather than who you are. But no more. From this moment on, you choose yourself. You set boundaries and actually enforce them. You stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You stop making room for those who only show up when they need something. You stop feeling guilty for putting yourself first, because the reality is the only people who will be upset by your boundaries are the ones who benefited from you having none. And here's what will happen when you stop being kind to the wrong people. You will free yourself. You will feel lighter. You will have more energy for the people and things that truly matter. You will attract relationships that are based on mutual respect and love, not one-sided effort and obligation. And most importantly, you will start to feel the peace that comes with knowing that you no longer allow yourself to be used, because at the end of the day, your kindness is a gift, a privilege, and not everyone deserves it. You are not obligated to be endlessly patient with people who refuse to respect you. You are not required to keep showing up for those who never show up for you. And you certainly don't owe anyone your time, energy, or love if they continuously prove they are unworthy of it. So stop being kind to them, walk away, let them figure it out on their own, because the moment you choose yourself, the right people, the ones who truly value you, will finally have the space to come into your life. You've spent so much of your life believing that kindness is the answer to everything. You've convinced yourself that if you just keep giving, keep understanding, keep being patient, eventually people will see your worth. But let me ask you this. How much longer are you willing to wait? How many more times will you excuse the disrespect, the neglect, the way they take you for granted? How many more chances will you give to people who have already proven they don't deserve them? Because the truth is, not everyone is worthy of your kindness. Some people are only in your life because they know you're the type to always forgive, always be there, always put others first, even when it costs you everything. And they take advantage of that. They drain you, they use you, they make you feel like you are only valuable when you are giving something to them. And you let them, because you don't want to be seen as mean. You don't want to be the bad guy. But hear me. Choosing yourself is not selfish. Walking away is not cruelty. Enforcing boundaries is not unkind. The real cruelty is allowing yourself to be used. The real mistake is pouring your love and energy into people who don't appreciate it. The real tragedy is wasting years of your life on relationships that do nothing but exhaust you. And the only way to stop this cycle is to finally decide that you will no longer tolerate it. You need to stop being kind to them. Stop answering their calls when they only reach out because they need something. Stop making excuses for their behavior when they keep proving they don't care. Stop bending over backward for people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. You deserve more than that. You deserve people in your life who value you, who respect you, who don't just take from you, but actually give back. But you will never find those people if you keep holding on to the ones who are only here for what they can get. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but I love them. But they've been in my life for so long. But what if they change? But let me ask you, how long have you been waiting for that change? How many times have you convinced yourself that next time will be different? That if you just try a little harder, they'll finally see your worth? And has it ever worked? Or has it only left you feeling more drained, more unappreciated, more frustrated? It is time to stop waiting for people to change and start changing the way you respond to them. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries. They will meet you halfway. They will make an effort. And the ones who don't, they were never meant to be in your life long term anyway. Let them go. Because here's what happens when you stop being kind to the wrong people. You make space for the right ones. You open your life to those who see your worth, who don't just take but also give, who appreciate you for who you are rather than what you can do for them. And more than that, you start to appreciate yourself. You start to realize that you were never hard to love. You were just giving your love to the wrong people. So today, make a choice to put yourself first, a choice to stop letting people walk all over you, a choice to reserve your kindness for those who truly deserve it. Because at the end of the day, your energy, your time, your love, they are precious, and not everyone is worthy of them. So stop being kind to them and start being kind to yourself. You deserve more. You deserve relationships that don't leave you questioning your worth. You deserve friendships that don't feel one-sided. You deserve to be surrounded by people who uplift you, who appreciate you, who give back as much as they take. But as long as you keep being kind to the wrong people, you will never experience that, because the ones who take advantage of your kindness will never stop unless you stop allowing it. Too many times you have let things slide. You have ignored the red flags. You have told yourself that they didn't mean it, that they're just going through something, that maybe, just maybe, if you keep being kind, they will finally change. But let's be real. They won't. If someone consistently disrespects you, takes you for granted, and only comes around when they need something, it's not an accident. It's not a misunderstanding. It's a pattern. And the longer you keep excusing it, the more they believe they can get away with it. People treat you based on what you allow. If you let them walk all over you, they will. If you keep showing up for them when they never show up for you, they will keep expecting it. If you continue giving and giving without ever demanding more in return, they will happily take everything you have to offer without a second thought. And then one day you'll look around and realize you have nothing left because you gave it all away to people who never deserved it in the first place. But you can change that. You can decide right now that you will no longer tolerate relationships that drain you, that you will no longer make yourself small just to make others comfortable, that you will no longer feel guilty for saying no to people who only come to you when it's convenient for them. This is not about becoming cold or shutting people out. It's about recognizing your worth and refusing to give your energy to those who don't appreciate it. And I get it. Letting go is hard. You might feel like you're abandoning people. You might worry about what they'll think, what they'll say, how they'll react. But let me ask you something. When was the last time they worried about how their actions affected you? When was the last time they put in the same effort you did? When was the last time they showed up for you without expecting something in return? If you have to constantly chase after someone's love, attention, or respect, they are not your people. The right people won't make you beg for their time. The right people won't only call when they need something. The right people won't make you feel like your kindness is being used against you. So stop being kind to them. Stop giving second chances to people who keep proving they don't deserve them. Stop explaining yourself to people who don't care enough to listen. Stop making yourself available to those who are never there when you need them. Because the moment you stop giving your energy to the wrong people, the right ones will have room to enter your life. And more than that, you will have room to breathe, room to grow, room to finally focus on yourself, your goals, your happiness. You have spent so much time trying to be everything for everyone else. Now it's time to be everything for yourself. Because at the end of the day, your kindness should be earned, not wasted. And the people who truly value you will never take it for granted. So let go of the ones who do. Let them figure life out without your constant support. And finally, start giving yourself the love and respect you've been so willing to give to everyone else.